Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking this time out to listen. Today, I'm talking about my book, Too Much, Too Soon, Internet Dating Blues. Please do refer to it over at smashwords.com. There is a free sample available. Now, I'm not going to read a book excerpt today, but what I am going to talk about is the frustration one feels when he or she realizes that this internet romance is nothing more than a nuisance. It's a problem. It's not fulfilling one's desires. And it's not doing much for one's needs anymore either. And I say anymore. That's a key word, anymore. Because at one point, the internet connection did serve a purpose. That purpose may have been that you were lonely, that you wanted a companion after just getting out of a relationship with someone else. This individual might have helped you reach certain personal goals, such as getting married, wanting to buy a piece of property together, start a business, have a baby. So it served a purpose, but now the purpose isn't as important. It's not as important as it once was. You're no longer feeling lonely. If anything, you're feeling overwhelmed possibly. You no longer need a marriage or a house or a baby because maybe the internet connection gave you all of those things. Maybe you have no need for too much of anything right now, but the person who you are with has a whole lot of needs that you don't want to support anymore, or you realized was too much. So you said, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And now that's causing some dissension in the relationship because they were there for you, possibly, or vice versa. But either way, it's a problem. It's a problem that you don't want to discuss with other folks because other folks are going to tell you, guess what? I told you you were moving too fast from the start. You got on this internet, started talking to all these different people, telling them that, you want this and that from them. You finally settled on someone. You moved way too fast. And now, you don't want to be in a relationship anymore. So you see, you don't necessarily feel too good about sharing how you feel with these folks. Okay? You definitely don't want to update the haters because the haters already didn't like the fact that you were broadcasting your relationship all over the internet and elsewhere. Now you want to start complaining via wall posts or little subtle hints that there's some trouble in the camp. And you're not getting too many likes and you're not getting too many comments. And if you do get comments, they're negative. Okay? People can see when something is not right in the atmosphere. People can detect when you're not happy. They notice how your personality has changed. You may have been once excited and jovial about a relationship, and so you're more welcoming of others. You're willing to go out here and have a good time and do a number of things, and then the relationship starts taking up much of your time, and now your friends start to notice and relatives, okay, she sold out on the guy, she sold out on what he is telling her. He's all caught up with his love interest that he met on the internet, so he no longer has time for us. So right off the bat, there is some resentment going on toward the new person that has come into the family because you took our brother away, you took our sister away, our daughter, our son. I don't really like you too much. We saw a good side with this person, a side we had never seen before, and then you come along and you took that away. Okay? Okay. This sort of thing happens. And then the relationship already moves so quickly. Now you're dealing with family stuff on top of it. You have enough issues dealing with your own family. Now here comes this person talking about my mom, this, my dad, this, my grandparents, this, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. Can we just zero in on us? Now you look like you're selfish. Now you look like you're controlling and everything else, because you're not ready for all of that other stuff. You're not ready for all of the issues that come with family members. You're not ready for the stepdaughter and the stepson and all of this other stuff. But you force yourself to, because this person has swept you off, your feet. You force yourself to because you have a purpose, at least at that particular time you did. And so, okay, I'll go along to get along because I have some personal needs that need to be met. There was some selfishness that took place. Let's be honest. There was some selfishness from the start. You had your agenda. You had your preferences. The internet was supposed to be like Burger King. You wanted it your way. You got it your way. And now some of you all who are spiritual, yes, I'm talking to you all, the believers. Now you are crying out to God saying, Lord, can you please take this issue from me? Can you please take these problems from me? Can you please take this man or woman from me? Because I'm tired of them. And I'm sorry, Lord, you were right. I was wrong. I should have waited on you. This person, we are not compatible in the least, or we are so much like one another that I can't stand being in the same room with this person that acts like me. I could barely get along with myself. Okay? Okay? Please get too much too soon internet dating blues. If you are one of those individuals who don't feel comfortable talking to relatives and friends about your very quick connection, okay? Get too much too soon internet dating blues. If you are that one who is curious about getting involved with someone over the internet, get too much too soon internet dating blues. If you are considering on breaking up with someone, separating or divorcing, I am telling you that if you can just look at things from a perspective outside of your own, you will feel better about whatever decision you make, whether it is staying in a relationship or moving on with your life, or you may be someone who is considering on taking your internet romance to the next level. You definitely need to get this book so that you can see what is ahead. Because after you have been in enough internet romances, you start to see a pattern, even though the people are different, in situations and locations, but there starts to become a pattern that you develop, and people can't help but fall into that pattern. So that's why, Louise and Jane or Peter or Paul seem to be just like Frank and Jim and, Tanya and Susie, because you set that up from the door by your preferences that you picked. You did not change. You did not go after something a bit different. You thought you did, but then those algorithms, right, that you pick, the preferences, the algorithms that match you up and so forth, produce the same individuals because you have the same preferences. Okay? So you want to be able to change some things, from the start. This didn't work for me last time. It didn't work for me the time before. It didn't work for me before. Okay, what's going on with me? Okay, it's not always about the person and all of the drama that they bring, but it's also about what you keep accepting and the boundaries that you never establish. I'm a free spirit. Okay, it sounds good in the beginning, but then that tells me that you are loose as a goose. Okay? You're just running around everywhere doing whatever. Okay? And that, to me, signals that a person is not trustworthy. Okay? Even though they may be, but, sometimes you have to question that. Or a person says that they're very spiritual or religious. Okay? That means lots of church attendance. That means lots of Bible reading. That means that you're probably judgmental too, because you've been around some legalism in the church. and they're not very tolerant of certain folks. Or you may be in one of those churches where you're very tolerant of some folks that even though you say you're a believer, I can't tell because you look like the world to me, you see. So there's a lot of stuff that shows up early on in a relationship that alerts us that we're going to have a problem. How about the one that says, I love my family, I'm close to my family, I absolutely adore my family? Guess what? That means you got to show up at some family gatherings. Even if they're out of state, you might have to help them with some expenses to go see their family. Are you willing to do that? What about those that have the children, right? Before they meet you, they have this, other man's son or other woman's daughter, or whatever. And it's too much at times, because if their relationship with that ex is not decent, you're going to have to listen to the stories. You're going to have to deal with whatever drama that child brings into the household. Then you're going to have to establish this boundary and that one. And if that person is in love with everything dealing with their child, now you got a problem on your hands, because they're going to say, you don't talk to my child this way. You don't tell me this, that, and the other. Okay. Then you're also expected to come out of pocket to help people with their children. Anytime you get involved in a relationship with someone who has children, you might as well start calculating how much are you going to have to contribute to the well-being of not only the person that you're with, but the child as well. Well, she has a job or he has a job, but jobs come and go. Now what? You see? And jobs don't come sometimes fast. So there's a lot of things that people don't think about before they get involved with folks. Then once they get involved with them, they get upset when all of the issues show up. They have very little tolerance for the talker, but yet you got involved with the talker. They have very little tolerance for the quiet person, but yet you got involved with the quiet person. They have very little tolerance for, all sorts of personalities. So then why are you dating? You're better off by yourself. You see? Then you got people who have unresolved issues with their parents and other relatives and best friends and so forth, and they bring that mess into the relationship. They have childhood woes that they keep pushing off, keep saying, I'm okay, I'm fine, there's nothing wrong with me. Meanwhile, how many exes have said, there's something wrong with you? And how many relatives have said, I wish you would go see a doctor? Okay? But they say, oh, no, I'm fine. And then once again, getting involved in another rush relationship and ending up making some more rash decisions. A lot of people who have we're talking about serious personality disorders. They move very quickly with everything. And that is a red flag. We got to get married. We got to go here. We got to do this. Let's save our money. Let's go here. They're dictating what people are supposed to do in the relationship. They're very, forward about their personal life. They want you to, do all sorts of things with them. They're very sexual, and maybe all of that's good in the beginning, but then over time that starts to wear on your nerves, because you're like, okay, is there more to you besides these things? It seems like it's always about you and what you want. A lot of these people are self-absorbed. And so they go on the internet because they know they can't cut it offline sitting in front of a person. Okay. They know that people are not interested in them offline because they see that there's a screw or two loose. So, hey, I'm going to rush to the internet with all of my quirks, my flaws, and whatever else. And hopefully I'm a good actor or actress. I'll hide them, and then I'll be able to get what I want. And hopefully we'll live happily ever after. And usually that never happens. It never happens with a person who has a lot of stuff going on with them. It doesn't. Instead, it's a lot of drama. It's a lot of drama in a relationship. It's a lot of drama with parenting. It's drama with workplace. It's everywhere you look. A person with a personality disorder has drama in every area of their lives. And then what do some people do? They want to save the damsel in distress. They want to save the poor, broken and busted, poor little me, guy who says that my mother doesn't love me. My father doesn't care for me. I am just so blah, 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 right? You go in there and you try to clean everybody up, try to fix everything, including children that are not yours and everything else, only to end up finding out that no matter what you do, it's never good enough. And so life goes on, right? Life goes on either with that person or without that person. And that's a decision that some of these people have to make. It's a harsh decision, but it is one that is going to keep you around on this planet a little while longer. Hopefully you won't lose your freedom in the process, because some people will drive you just that mad. So, Too Much Too Soon, Internet Dating Blues. Please do get this book for yourself. If you don't need it, get it for someone else who is dating online. It is one of those books that is an eye-opener. I am a believer in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, but I don't get into all of the spiritual stuff inside the book because I want not just believers but unbelievers to read it as well. So I thank you so much for taking the time out to listen, and may God bless you as well as those you love.